I just want to take one moment to truly, and I am sincere, I'm trying to be sincere, okay, to thank you all for taking us over 1 million views on the Tragically I Need You special on the Lewis Black YouTube channel. It means the world to me, and I'm serious. Thank you. Thank you for tuning it in, and thank a lot of you for some of the most offensive comments I've ever had about my work. Thank you for reminding me what a piece of shit I am, because I don't hear it enough in my head, you idiots. Don't you understand that? But that's for another time. It's really about what a great, how great it is.
This could all go horribly wrong at any minute. Hello and welcome to the 137th edition of Lewis Black's Rantcast, entitled "The Benefits of Slavery." God, I can't believe that's coming out of my mouth, that we're going to have to talk about this. I should just have said that. A little bit of blood should have dripped out of my nose, just a nostril. And isn't that a weird word? And then just cut immediately to all the rants that were written in by you folks that I'll be reading this week, because that's all that needs to be said. The benefits of slavery. That's it. But first, I just want to let you know that we've got some new dates coming on. You're going to want to go to lewisblack.com. I'll be coming to a lot more cities, and I'll be telling you about them in the coming weeks. But for now, one new one is in Las Vegas at the Mirage Hotel. I'm pleased to finally get back there, and I could go into why, but I don't want to lose the gig, why it's taken so long to get back there. But I want to keep this gig, and I'm kind of excited about going back to Las Vegas since I was just there. And I'll be there October 7th. And I was just there with Bert Kreischer's Fully Loaded Comedy Fest, and I got this T-shirt. Yep. And it's I should have worn it last week when I talked a bit about this, but I know that this is unusual. These are two colors I rarely wear, but in honor of Bert and the Fully Loaded Comedy Fest, I thought I would wear it. It's yellow and salmon, and those are colors that just don't work for me, but they do work on this T-shirt. They certainly pop. If Bert likes them, I mean, it's his T-shirt, so they could be any colors he wants, as far as I'm concerned, and I'm proud to wear it. But let's get back to the benefits of slavery. How many can you list? Coming to us from what? Oh, wait, I hear it in the distance. They're just kind of, you can hear them down there, just shouting to the rest of the country. We're Florida. Oh, and our governor is Ron DeSantis, and he has so many things to put us on the right track. No one died of COVID here because he did such a goddamn, and I could be reading you that article, because it turns out, it was a fuck up, okay? He fucked up in terms of how he dealt with it. And I'm tired of this, okay? Making shit up. It's that I was going to call it the episode "Stop Making Shit Up," because it's got to stop. Okay, you know. Then like months later, this guy's wandering around the country touting his phenomenal freedom accomplishment, which allowed a lot more people than who shouldn't have died because of his. Well, it's great to have the freedom and get us back to a full employment economy, and who cares who's dropping like flies? But of course, let's get back to the slavery thing, which came through the Florida Board of Education, who decided that where's the statement that, God damn it, slaves developed skills that could be used for personal benefit. I mean, what study I've done and what I was taught, not once did people go, woo, boy, you should have seen how well they came out of that. It's not a goddamn junior college slavery, okay? But even though we've turned junior college and college into a debtor's prison, which I'm sure we won't be teaching that if things keep going the way they are. But this is fucking nonsense. Okay? And then two educators defend it. Well, we should, no. Okay? No. Not at all. All right? Boy, it was so great that the Jews built the pyramids because now they're all do so well with building these almost impossible types of structures around the world. What planet to say that somehow one human being owning another human being has a benefit for the person who's owned? They're brought over in chains, you assholes. Stop it. Okay? There's no personal benefit if someone is traumatized beyond belief, if their families are split up. All right? Nothing. Unless you wanted to get out of the relationship. Then you go, boy, there's a personal benefit. Why didn't you teach that? You know? I cannot fucking believe the benefits of slavery. We live. The fact that they came up with this, it just continues to go down this road of creating an environment in certain places and trying to put it throughout the country, an environment that just, it's satirical. It's beyond satire, all right? I mean, that's something you would read in a book and go, whoa, that's not possible. Wow, the benefits of slavery. God, that's brilliantly funny. I wish I'd thought of that. That's a funny thing to read in a book about how people could go off course. They're real people doing this. Real people touched by satire, I guess. Boy, you know, this should be, I'm hoping people read this and really just yuck it up. I mean, that's the only way that the fucking Florida Board of Education could put that out. You know, go, okay, do it on April 1st. We're only kidding. Son of a bitch. It's satire to a point that I just can't even begin to think of any. I mean, I read Vonnegut, I read Joseph Heller, I've read all sorts of phenomenal writers, or Carlin, or the comics like him, Lenny Bruce. You know, their take on the church and things like that. But oh, that's funny, but not this. This is really extraordinary. Why don't you just, you know, stop it already with what you're doing to children and what it is you think, how you're helping them, so that white children aren't traumatized by facts? The fuck's the matter with you? I've said it before, I'll repeat it again. Okay? The way in which, you know, when we were taught about slavery when I was a kid, I didn't go, wow. I didn't go home every night and start crying because I was a slave owner. All right? I was astonished that our country was built on this kind of madness. And I was appalled by it. Okay, but I did not take it on myself. I thought, wow, we've at least come this far. And hopefully we will go further. It was an impetus when I learned it for the importance of civil rights, which came during the time in which I was born and raised. This is nuts to be going back like this. To fucking try to what do we want it to be? I need to take a second. That's all I could put. We could put a chip in each kid's head. Why don't we do that? Hey, Florida, put a chip in their head. You know, cut out the teaching. Just put a chip in their head so that they smile without drooling and can repeat the nonsense that you want them. Just that's all you need is a chip. Why are you wasting your time with the books? Huh? Why are you wasting time with, you know, creating this kind of curriculum when you could just give them new memories? Give them memories of when everything was wonderful down on the plantation. Douchebags. Really. Then that word doesn't even cover it. Unbelievable to have the gall to stand in public and pull that shit. God. And it's got, and it's pushing back against woke. Woke's a different thing. Okay, woke's got its own stupidity. You don't respond. I've just got to stop again. So if anyone would like for next time to write a rant in listing, listing the benefits of slavery, I'd be delighted to read it. I'm sure we could think of a ton of things. It literally blew my mind to the point that there are not enough salvageable cells to come up with the jokes that I need to. So it'll take me a little time to come up with my own list. But I'll get there, and it'll be on stage at some point. And I look forward to it, to stumbling on to the benefits of slavery. Oh, I learned how to wear those chains really well. I could wear them with a dress shirt. Fucking unbelievable. Just extraordinary. Meanwhile, we've got an incredible. The climate is out of fuck control. We've talked about it the past few weeks, and I've talked about it. But we in New York are just dealing with not being able to breathe. It's hot as fuck, but it certainly isn't hot as fuck as it is in many parts of the country. And people are dropping like flies. And and what's helping out in terms of Texas, in terms of their able to keep the grid going, is their solar energy, and I believe some wind energy that has been able to keep that grid from blowing up, which is good. And so at least and it's something we might want to learn from, and we might want to start really getting to work on getting our shit together when it comes to this, the problem we have with climate change, huh? We might want to start really dealing with it. Really, honk, emergency. This is the siren going off, all right? And it's just going to get worse. And it literally arrived at the same time as artificial intelligence, which for some reason, no one has said, hey, why don't we use that to figure out stuff? No, let's figure out how they can write better television and film scripts so we don't have to hire people. That's really what you're going to use. Why don't you use artificial intelligence to help us figure out how to deal with this fucking nonsense? Why don't we use our minds in the same fashion, and I'll say this time and again, that we did to create these fucking phones that allow us to send messages out throughout the universe. Look, and I can dial anywhere, any fuck where in the throughout the world, and someone will answer in Taipei or Malaysia or Greenland, anywhere. I can do that. And can you see anything come out of here? No. But why not try to do that with the clouds? Move them around, make them into a variety of like topiary. We could have topiary clouds. Turn them into animals of all sorts. Little. Oh, look up in the sky. There's a giraffe-shaped cloud. Ooh, and there's one that looks like a pony. Whatever, and start there. And then get them together and then move their ass around. And then if something's coming in, make sure it doesn't fucking stay there forever. Take the rain you need and move it on. I don't understand why we don't direct our science in part and AI in that direction. But what do I know? Okay? I'm having enough trouble with the benefits of slavery. So, we just continue to take our eye off the ball. And then we got to fucking fight with people over this. How do you have to fucking fight with people when you know? Okay? When you look up in the sky and it's orange in some parts of the country, or that it's just oppressive. And then it's the hottest fuck. It's the hottest it ever was. And then it's the hottest it ever was. Okay? At some point, it has to be dealt with. And I'm just surprised that there's not a cult uh, like QAnon that has arisen that has said that the real problem is we've stopped worshiping the sun god. And I believe it would be is it Ra? Was that the sun god? I don't know. I'd look it up if I was me. I will. I'm going to take a moment. I was right. I'm kind of amazed. I've actually remembered something. Ra was the ancient Egyptian god and it was the ancient Egyptian sun god. Huh? How good is that? And I'm sure that there's a whole group of people. I'm surprised they haven't risen as one to complain that we're just not the sun god is upset. Ra is deeply offended by us because we've stopped worshiping him, and we've been involved in this Judeo-Christian, Islamic, the idea that God that each of those religions have, which is the same God, is not the sun god. You have to, that we blew it once we stopped the division of labor amongst gods. That we made it, we put it under one God, and and that was a mistake. And I'm surprised we don't have people screaming at us. That's been the problem. I'm surprised. I mean, it's not a question really of what's going on in terms of climate change and all of the problems we've had with gas and electric and methane and all of the things that are really destroying the environment. It's just simply not getting up every day and worshiping the sun. That's been the problem. I'm sure that there are people. I'm just surprised. Everything else. If you got the benefits of slavery, you have the benefits of the sun god. Wow. I'm checking around. We got the other thing this week, which I've just kind of was wondering about. If Joe Biden isn't doing well in the polls, why would you refer to an economy that people don't seem to think is getting better but there are those who do. Either way, why would you call it Bionomics? It's not. It's economics, all right? It was like when they called it Obamacare, all right? Don't be so arrogant about it, all right? Take your name off of it so that they know that it's health care. I said that then, and know that it's economics, and then try to get that message across. Get the message across that we are doing the best we can, and try to figure out how to deal with what are the basic problems of a lot of people when it comes to inflation. You can talk about what you've done with it, and it's only going up 3 or 4%, but people are pissed. They're out there, of course, yelling and screaming about this, and meanwhile taking extended vacations. God damn it, I can't get enough groceries, but I'm going to be spending 2 weeks at the beach. And I get it. And he has to deal with the fact that the price of shit has been on the rise and it has not come down enough. And stop calling it Bidenomics. They're not happy. They don't seem to like you. You seem to have gotten over that. So don't put your name on things, okay? And Build Back Better was one of the worst names for anything in the history of all government. And I spent a lot of time around government when I was a kid. And they came up with Build Back Better. Nobody at the meeting went, well, what about Build Better sweaters? Well, that would have been a better idea. Build Back Better. It just sounds backwards. It sounds like a backward sentence. All right, move on. Because really there was good news this week for me, at least. A ray of sunshine, a raw of sunshine for me. And that was this week, practically on the same day, within, I think, 48 hours. The Baltimore Orioles went into first place. And even as I speak, they're on the TV in the other room, I hope working their magic, because sometimes when I watch, their magic leaves. And but they went into first. And I've been waiting a long, long time for this. And all I wanted them to be was competitive. And I think that it was reprehensible what the management did in terms of I think the rebuild is good, but in part, they made no attempt to keep the fan base. Just, we're just going to be shitty and that's going to be it. And they should have been competitive. All right. They still would have been in last place, but I don't mind losing. I didn't mind losing like 9-6, 10-7. All right. But for God's sake, they didn't even make the attempt. It was just, today, once again, the Orioles had 6 pitchers on the mound and their batting average is 196 as a team, and they have lost the last 3 games by 46 runs. It was too long like that. And finally, they're coming back, and they're still so pissed that the deals that are offered to go to that stadium are still remarkable. But at least it's filling up, and I'm glad to see them playing really great ball, and it's fun to watch. And a lot of those kids, I feel, should have been brought up earlier. But I don't really – what I do have to say is they brought people in, and they seem to have a phenomenal coaching staff with a great hitting coach. And I know this intrigues all of you, but it's fun to see. And on literally, simultaneously, the Washington Commanders got rid of Dan Snyder. And hopefully to fucking name the Commanders. And apparently we were able to change the name too. But he's gone. He's got to pay a $60 million fine. Of course, they paid the price of the franchise, largest sale price ever, $6 billion something. And he only has to pay $60 million. So they pay him the money, so give him the money so that he can pay him off so they get rid of him. And the shit that he did was criminal at times. And they've not dealt with it. And there was already one investigation that was done a number of years ago. And they kind of said they wouldn't publish the results of the investigation. This is what the fucking NFL said. Unless they had the permission of Dan Snyder. Fuck you. The fuck's the matter with the NFL when you do something shitty, fucking, don't spray the room with some sort of a goddamn fucking floral scent. Oh boy, this smells really good. God, we really covered this up. Stop it. It's unbelievable what you've done. And now they've got, they basically, there's a harassment suit that came out against him. That was part of the reason he had to pay this fine. And he also, he wasn't paying the NFL owners. He was hiding some cash from them that he owed them. It's called fraud. Okay. And the NFL made us sit and suffer under him. And all those fucking owners sitting around with their thumbs up their ass. And he supposedly had shit on them. It's ridiculous. God damn it. Talk about bread and fucking circuses run by, and this is it. Nero owned a fucking football team. Dan Nero Snyder. And that's all I got to say. I'm done. I'll be on the NFL Network if things have worked out. I'm not sure. I haven't got the final thing yet telling me it's going to happen. But it would be if you happen to stumble onto it by the time you get this, I'll have already done it. But I'm sure we'll if I make any sense at early in the morning, hopefully, and that it's funny, I'll get it out there. And certainly you can get a chance to see it. It'll be cleaned up a lot more than what I just said here. Woo! Before I go, some quick news that'll make you beer drinkers happy, and makes me sorry that I stopped drinking beer. There's research showing that drinking even a single beer a day diversifies men's gut microbes and may reduce their risk of diabetes and heart disease. God, good news, beer drinkers, good news. That and microbreweries, can't beat it. And that's what I got from here. It's been a pleasure as always to spend time with you, and I really hope that you enjoy the rants that you'll be hearing this week. As always, there's some great ones coming your way. Please continue to send them in. I love reading them, even if they don't make it to air. I do get a big kick out of them, and I'm sorry that they all can't be on the air. But maybe if when I retire, that's what I'll do is I'll send out 10 a day from the stockpile. But please, if you can, sit down and get whatever you want off your chest. And I look forward to reading it. Thanks again for joining me this week. And it's been a real privilege and a pleasure spending time with you. Thank you. Mildred Ellison, as always, has found a wonderful nugget in the news. This is a splendid obituary. A son's obituary of his father, James Loveless of Kentucky. In quotes, a gluttonous eater of fried foods, ladies' man, and proud trailer park resident. The obituary, penned by Rocky Loveless, begins as a gluttonous eater of fried foods and snack cakes, as well as the occasional chili dog. James tried in vain to give up the ghost by clogging his arteries and having a stroke. The obituary concluded Jamie loved his family more than anything else in the world, except ice cold bush, room temperature bush, T-bones, New York strip, prime rib, swimming, poker, hatchback Mustang GTs, tank tops, Kentucky men's basketball, and his personal copy of Eddie Murphy's Raw. Among those he leaves behind are a pair of old boxers, which have Budweiser, the king of rears, printed on the design. He will be moderately missed. Oh, man. I don't know where you find this stuff, Mildred, but it's splendid. Thank you, Mildred. Mildred Ellison, my friends. From Yakub S. Dear Louis, I'm one of the few folks who got a ticket to your show in Europe. Well, I'm sorry about that. I just wasn't able to get the sales done, as I've said, but I'm coming back. And depending where you are, I hope I get to see you, and that we get this on track. But that isn't my rant. I'm happy that you got to enjoy your stay here. My rant is that most rants are about bullshit. Way too many people here bitch about the national rail because the trains sometimes have a few minutes delay. Or heaven help us, arrive at a different platform than initially scheduled. Terrible. Then there's the politics, full of morons that can't get shit done. Or the weather. Geez, of course, it's either too hot or too cold. In a country with some of the mildest climates, where's a relatively healthy democracy, the extremist voices aren't loud, and there are many parties to pick from. And what are the alternatives for trains? I spent a few years in a country that is so free that it forced me to drive everywhere just to participate in society. And I waited at traffic lights and those idiotic four-way stops for much longer than a few minutes a day. I don't like strangers raging over the rail, but I'd have them over road rage inches from carnage any minute. But you know what is the absolute worst of this? I am just as much guilty of this nonsense as the other folk, and it pisses me off. Whining about shit that could be a million times shittier. My brain hurts after the day in the office, I complain to my friends, before I can realize the utterly privileged position I am in. Unbelievable. I am lucky to have a cool job and not have to stress about my basic needs. And I have friends that bear with me when I tell them all this crap. Yet, watch me forget it again. Damn it. I'm writing this to you before it happens so that you can remind me. Thanks for being here for us. Well, I won't be calling if you forget, Yakub. And hopefully I remembered how to pronounce it correctly. They actually gave three pronunciations. I took the first one. Thanks for that. It seems I've truly pissed off Paul Delugogensky. I'm sorry if I mispronounced your last name, um, but he's pissed, and here he goes. Regarding your rantcast on that would be July 13th and the Baltimore shooting. Do you really think the perpetrators of this shooting legally purchased the weapons and a background check waiting period would have prevented it? Huh? I like you, but you need to pull your head out of your ass. The people who did this would never be able to legally obtain a gun. Best wishes. Well, Paul, I didn't really get into what was happening in Baltimore. I think probably they didn't have a legal gun, but I think at some point, if there's a good possibility that it might have been a gun that was legally purchased and then passed on. I just think that in all I was suggesting, Paul, is that the background checks had seemed to have worked at one time during this evolution and escalation that we have gone to, so that now it's just, in a number of states, it's like you want to carry a gun in public, it's fine. Okay. So we've gone from one end of the spectrum now to the other end of the spectrum. And I'd like a little sanity. That's all. And thanks for, and if my, at least if my head is up my ass, it'll explain why the summer has been so hot. Ba-ba-ba-boom, bow. Thank you, Paul. Thank you very much. It's important that I get stuff coming back from folks and that I read it. And I appreciated it, Paul. I hope you are having a good summer, and I hope that you're not in the midst of some sort of a sweltering state, losing your mind, and that it's 200 degrees and you're going, when's this going to end? All right, take care of yourself. Kiera McCarty seems to be a little upset with the town I think he's living in. Just saw an advertisement for a realtor selling a house for $275,000. You're going to shit out your eyeballs where you hear where it's located. St. Johnsbury, Vermont. I don't know it, actually. I've been through Vermont a lot. I don't know St. Johnsbury. I don't know St. Johnsbury. But here we go. For over $250,000, you can watch a live-action Jerry Springer show on your front porch. Watch mentally ill people walk down the center of the street, shirtless, while smacking cars as they drive by. Watch people who are noticeably on drugs, but are not a problem because your car is faster than their legs. Until, of course, the street snow kicks in, and you have to turbo your Honda so you can outrun them while they're asking to borrow $20. Yes, the same town where you can grab an $11 calzone and unknowingly be at the same location where a shootout took place just days before. But you're not deterred because, hell, $11 is a good deal, bud. No worries, though. The town is shaped up and businesses have opened up. I know this because one of those businesses has already been robbed. Our local McDonald's is closed down, but no worries. It happened just in time to have a Domino's open up right across the street. So if you're looking for a heart attack and a reason not to wear skinny jeans for under $20, you're in luck. It's nice to see they're opening up a marijuana dispensary soon. The same building that used to be a mattress store. Good marketing. The first thing I want to do after taking in all of St. J is to pay a visit, buy a package, enjoy it, then go to sleep in hopes that all of what I just saw was just a dream. Don't worry, though. There's a chance to release with a few bars located in the center of town. You can sit down next to several generations of overworked, tired, single parents, or people who are going to end up being single, or parents by the end of the night. Make sure you have a garage at least, not because of the multiple seasons that completely donkey punch your car's paint, or bury the vehicle during the winter in an unnecessary amount of Sky Coke. I got it. I'm an idiot. But because at times you may find that some personal belongings might be missing the next morning. Even better, the catalytic converter being stolen. The same way that person stole your heart at the bar the night before until the makeup and Mike's hard wore off the next morning. And now your newly found baby mama or papa resembles that of a 1999 rusty Dodge Neon with a donut tire. But hey, don't be sad. Otherwise, you'll be prescribed antidepressants and pick up a drug habit that will probably land you a spot on the police log in a paper that doesn't boast a lot of good news. Because in St. J, tragedy sells, and success is when you make bail. Welcome to St. Johnsbury. Our motto is, good luck till you're fucked. Wow, Kiera. Wow. Wow. That was something. Thanks for that. I guess. Thanks for that. You certainly had to get it off your chest, and I think it was important for us to hear it. I won't be visiting. Thanks to all of you for listening to my Rantcast. If you have a rant you want to get off your chest, send it in to me at lewisblack.com/live. You can think of it as therapy, or whatever you want to think of it as. Just let it rip. And I want to thank the true stars of our show, the ranters, and the splendid rants they gave us. Lewis Black's Rantcast was created and hosted by me. Aha, Lewis Black. Our live rant audio was produced by James Salter. Our theme song by Chris Lane. Executive producer, Ben Brewer. Executive producers, Matt Kleinschmidt and Robert Kelly for the Laugh Button Podcast.